Well, there are a lot of things that can contribute to plantar fasciitis, and one being posterior tib problem. Today we're going to talk to you guys about what it is and how you can treat it at home with some soft tissue work and some exercises.
With a spoon.
With a spoon. I took my shoe off just so you guys can see. A lot of the time we think of plantar fasciitis. A lot of people start to have pain in this area. Well, there are a lot of things that can contribute to plantar fasciitis, and one being posterior tib problem, or a big toe problem, big toe mobility issue. And so what we want to do today is teach you guys how you guys can relieve some of that pain. The pain that you'll be feeling is along the inside part of your foot, right over here, not directly on the arch, but a little bit more on the outside. This muscle attaches right to the bones around here, to the joints, and then it kind of transfers up. So the posterior tib goes behind. Here's the tib bone. It goes right behind. You kind of see it on my tattoo here. And it goes down and it goes onto the back side of the malleoli, which attaches right around here. And then, so they kind of work together. So let's get right into the treatment. So we're going to use some lotion here. Thanks, John. And simply put, you're just going to put it right on you're going to start with the big toe muscles. And you're going to start on the medial side of the foot, which is right around here. And you're going to get there and you're just going to use that spoon and you're going to start to just push away at it. And the reason why I'm using a spoon is because then I can start to feel the glide, and the glide can go a little bit easier, and I can start loosening up the fascia and the muscle in that area. Now, not necessarily loosening up the muscle, but creating a better glide to the fascia and the muscle to it. And I'm going to start with the big toe. And as I do that, I'm going to do that for a few minutes. It feels pretty freaking good, unless somebody else is doing it for you. Then that's when it's going to start to create a little bit of pain. But as I go there, now I'm going to start working my way up. And thanks, John.
You're welcome.
We're going to use this. We're going to use this spoon, and we're going to go right along the back edge. Now, there's multiple ways that you could do this. Do you have to have a spoon? If you have a ball, if you're at your gym or wherever, you're probably not going to be bringing a spoon with you. But you can release that tension with a lacrosse ball at the same time. Now, notice what I'm doing. I'm kind of pumping my ankle as I'm going up and down and giving myself a self-massage here with a spoon to help relieve some of that tension. Now, again, the pain patterns that I'm going to be dealing with is not necessarily back here, although this is going to be sensitive. The pain patterns is going to kind of go into my foot along the medial border of my foot right over here. Okay? So you're going to do that for about 2 to 3 minutes, maybe even more if you like the feeling, if you're sitting down and watching TV at home. And you're just going to try to release tension by massaging that out with a spoon and some lotion. Cool. So let's get into some exercises, because we know that soft tissue work is not going to fix everything. We want to retrain the muscle. We want to try to load it. So let's go ahead and do that. The next part is we want to train the local range of motion of the foot. So in this case, John struggles with internal rotation of the foot here. And so what we're going to try to do is try to create a pattern by locking out the knees, or not pattern, excuse me. We're going to try to focus on working the local joint, which is the foot ankle. And then we're going to try to lock his knees in place, having him sit up straight. And from here, first thing, before I even put the band on, is I'm just going to have him work on internal rotation of his foot. There you go. And then he's going to put the big toe down. Now notice the ball of the foot is being pressed down. He's going to start feeling the arch start to create tension, as well as the posterior tib. You feel that kind of transferring up, right?
Yep.
And so he's going to work on that. He's going to hold it there for about 30 seconds, and then he's going to bring it right back out. And he's going to try to go further this time while he sits up as straight as possible. So posture is going to be a good thing here. We want to make sure that the whole back is working together along with his hip and his knee. Push that big toe down, push the ball of the foot down, press, 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 press. He's going to hold it there for 30 seconds, and then he's going to bring it right back out. He's going to do about a set of 5 repetitions, holding it for about 30 seconds each one. Now, if he's mastered that movement, then I can start working on more repetitions rather than isometric holds. So I'm going to pull this band slightly at an angle here. If you guys can see where I'm holding it there, go ahead and rotate. and then bring it back. Good. Bring it back in, rotate, big toe down, ball of the foot down, and right back. Now notice the knees are being locked in place here, and I'm working on that tibial internal and external rotation here with the foot. Pull all the way in, big toe down, hold and press. Now again, this is the whole idea right now is just to try to get rid of the pain. Try to decrease the pain patterns that you're dealing with and starting to create better patterns for you so that way you're not working away from that pain. With the posterior tib, now we want to try to put a little bit more load on it. We want to try to have his whole body working together. Now, we don't have extra resistance. We're going to start with him with obviously without resistance. But the main thing that I want to do is I want to put this block between his heels with his toes slightly externally rotated. We've done in the past for Achilles tendonitis, we've worked on eccentric heel drops. This is going to be very similar, except we're just pushing a block in between his ankles. So he's going to go down, he's going to stretch it out, and then the main thing that I want him to think about, even though he has shoes on, is pushing off the big toe. Ready? And push off the big toe, and come on up as high as you can go. And as he's coming up as high as he can go, he's strengthening his soleus, his gastroc. That's going to come all the way down. Slowly down, slowly down. Now fire back up, John, fast, quick, hold it right there. Now that's going to start, targeting the posterior tib, but again, it's more of a pattern. We want to work on everything in that area that may be causing it. So I don't like to pinpoint one specific muscle, but I like to think that everything in that area that's causing pain is a suspect. Right back up, 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 good. And notice he's going pretty quick. Then eventually what I want him to do is I want him to start firing faster without going slow. Right back down fast. And up, and up, and up, and up. Good, perfect. And then after we do that, maybe about a couple weeks or maybe in a week or so, I want to have him start working off of jumping exercises, right? Starting with 2 feet. Go ahead, jump with me. So we're going to start with 2 feet, light jumping. And if you guys can imagine, you're jumping thinking about the big toe pushing off the ground. After you do that, you're going to go to a single leg. This reminds me of Coming to America. You're exactly right.
All right, just to add to the fact that when we're doing these exercises, one of the things you may also want to look at is your shoes. If your shoes are very narrow and does not have a wide toe box, it might be adding to the reason why you're having those issues in your foot and your toe and your arches.
Your foot looks like this. Yeah.
Exactly. So as I was jumping like so, if your shoes are narrow, your big toes will start cramping inward.
And then it'll cause that collapse.
Right.
It'll cause that strain on that on the muscles that control the big toe.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too detailed with the anatomy.
So you could just try to either do it with no shoes on, or like myself, I have some wide toe box shoes, and see if that helps out.
Yeah, and these are wide for me too. I have narrow feet, but it does help me. Yeah, big toes. But daily shoes that you might be wearing, that all plays a factor. Not maybe the only factor, but it might play a factor if you're wearing heels.
Right.
If you're wearing heels and
a lot of basketball shoes are very narrow.
Yeah, exactly. So even though there are a lot of benefits to shoes, there also might be some negative consequences.
Negative restrictions.